Hello again, everyone. Alright, if you've ever wondered what it really takes to become financially independent in India, and I don't mean the textbook version, but actually the real mindset behind FIRE, then this video might just change the way you think about money and time. Of course, before we begin, the standard disclaimer states that this presentation is for educational purposes only. Please do your own research and consult a SEBI-registered financial advisor before making any investment decisions, as I am not a SEBI-registered financial advisor myself. So, first things first, let's bust some myths. FIRE is not about building crazy Excel models or running Monte Carlo simulations till your laptop starts begging for mercy. It's not about predicting every possible disaster because honestly, none of us has a crystal ball to see the future. And FIRE is definitely not about restricting your life or living in constant fear. Think about it. The whole point of FIRE is freedom, not anxiety. So let's forget about the doom mindset because that's not what we're doing here any which way. Then what really is FIRE? Well, here's the truth nobody emphasizes enough. FIRE is a mindset shift. It's about taking your time back. It's about creating space to enjoy small, meaningful moments. It can be anything ranging from listening to music, traveling, gaming, reading, or whatever lights you up. Basically, FIRE gives you the room to heal, grow, and reconnect with yourself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Think of it like this. If someone woke you up at the midnight and asked you to do that one thing you love, you'd actually enjoy doing it rather than slapping the person. FIRE helps you build a life filled with more of that precise thing. So then you may ask, how would you actually approach FIRE? Well, forget the extreme ends. No overcomplicated financial equations and no endless procrastination waiting for the perfect moment. Just focus on two simple ideas: time equivalence and savings rate. Time equivalence is basically how many hours, days, months, or years of work you actually need. Savings rate is basically what percentage of your income you consistently keep for yourself, or as we say, pay yourself first. When you connect these two together, FIRE suddenly stops being confusing and starts becoming crystal clear. Now let's make this super practical with an example. Say you earn 1 lakh a month, that is about 12 lakhs a year. You start at the age of 25, aim to retire at 60, and say have a life expectancy of 95. So that's 35 working years and 35 retired years. Now here's the magic. If you save 50% of your income, then every 1 year of your work funds every 1 year of your retirement. Simple, clean, powerful. What this means is that of course your savings need to sit in an inflation meeting or beating investment for this to work, but your 50% of income saved limits your expenses also to 50%, which means your 1 year of work is equals to 1 year of play. But here is where it gets exciting. Let's see what happens when you cross 50% and something wild goes on. Now let's try and understand the exponential advantage. When your saving rate jumps above 50%, the entire FIRE equation flips into your favor. As we discussed, at 50%, it's 1 year of work is equivalent to 1 year of retirement. But you make it 75% of saving rate, that actually means that you have only 25% of expenses any which way, which means that your 1 year of work is actually equivalent to 3 years of retirement. Now, if you had the entire 35 year of work plus 35 year of retired life period of 70 years, here you can see the difference. That if you work only for about 18 odd years, you get 54 years worth of expenses in retirement taken care of, thereby completing your entire life expectancy. You go to another extreme and save 90% of your income, well, that's 1 year of work equivalent to 9 years of retired life. Let that sink in. 9 years of retired life for 1 year of work. Now, you may say that Snakey, who's able to save 75% of their income at the beginning of their career? Well, that's the point, right? Not everybody is able to FIRE any which way. The fact that you're choosing this path for yourself and trying to get back the only precious thing which you have, which is time, means that you have to do certain sacrifices. Of course, one more thing to note over here is that it is not that at the starting of the career itself that you need to save 75% or 90% of your income. You can start small, but once you are at your later phases, say around end of 20s, mid 30s, that's the time when you have your family and everything sorted out and you have a basic handle of what your monthly expenses are going to be. At this point in time, your career starts shooting off, and when that happens, you can at least consciously try, especially if you're aiming for fire, to reduce your lifestyle inflation and start increasing your savings rate number. Your future self will definitely thank you for this. So, basically, here's the big takeaway. You don't need complicated simulations or 20 tab spreadsheets to figure out how the future is going to be for you, because frankly, nobody can actually tell you that. But this simple back of the envelope calculation actually tells you how close you are to fire. Once you're very clear on what your savings rate is, you can mentally itself understand that at 50%, your every year of work is actually funding your 1 year of retirement. At 75%, this ratio becomes 1:3, and at 90%, it becomes 1:9. This way, you are always in control and you have the fire math which is actually working for you. At the end, fire isn't about money, as we all have always been thinking wrongly. It's about reclaiming the most precious limited resource we have, our time. Your time to live, explore, create, wander, and be who you genuinely want to be. If this gives you clarity, do hit like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel and motivates me to keep producing content like this. And tell me in the comments, what are the fire topics that I should further break down in such a way that you don't fall into the financial jugglery of things, but actually understand the concepts behind it. This is Sneaky, signing off. Regards.